In real life, it's 7:30 on a Wednesday. It's a Rich and Josh show. Starring Josh and Rich. Halloween. What I gotta buy $10,000 worth of candy for these snots. Okay. Yeah. Good morning. How are you?
Hey, buddy. I'm good. There we go. Now I can hear
Congratulations.
and
Okay,
see
that's
you.
the show. There we go. Dude, I tell you what, it was hard getting out of bed this morning.
Yeah, I woke up 10 minutes ago. I slept right through my 6 a.m. alarm, and I guess finally a sense of responsibility kicked in an hour and 20 minutes later.
Your wife didn't. I can't imagine being married to someone who's like you, who sleeps through an alarm.
No, when I say I sleep through it, I mean I like uh thought I was awake, shut it off, and then fell back asleep. Not like it was blaring in the background that I was unaware of it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how people do that either. That's crazy.
Or like
Like it doesn't take
multiple
much.
alarms.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
That's crazy.
hit snooze. You keep hitting snooze or something like.
Like if you're that tired,
We're
maybe
out.
you should stay asleep.
Yeah, or that's it. Like, don't expect me to sleep in here anymore.
Right.
If that's
Right.
gonna be the
Right.
case.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't have both of those things.
Yeah, one or the other. How are you? Did you
Good,
guys get
buddy.
trick or treaters?
No. No, we
Really?
got one we got one last year because
One.
it's a dead end street. And I think that some people I don't know. I guess that's why.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, if you're a kid, you're not going down a dead end street.
Maybe. I guess it
You
would
don't want to.
depend,
Yeah, one.
but they didn't. They didn't this year. One came last year and I had nothing. I didn't have candy. I didn't have a dollar in my pocket. I think I may have even forgotten it was Halloween. They opened
You
the
answered
door.
the
These
door.
cute. Well, yeah. You don't answer the door when
Hey, can I help you?
I didn't look to see
Trick
who
or
it was. I'm not a paranoid android. I just someone rings the doorbell. I go face the game of chance, and I open it up. And these people were small people. They were little, not fully grown yet people, and they said trick or treat, and they looked adorable. And I had to say to them, "I've got nothing for you. I'm sorry."
I'm gonna teach you a little
Like
bit about
like
life so right now.
in my head was going through like, okay, do we have any candy upstairs? Do I have a candy bar in my bag from work or something? Like, is there? Do I have like a small bag of chips that I can give these kids? And nothing, nothing.
Yeah, I got a Nature Valley that I took from the
Even
break
that.
room
Yeah.
6 weeks ago. You guys can
Yeah.
break it into fours and share
Yeah.
it.
Here's a fiber one bar, oats and chocolate. It's got a lot of fiber, a lot of protein. You guys break it in thirds and share it. Basically, why did you get a ton?
Yeah, I've never so, and actually I wanted to show this. I've never seen as many. We've been here now for three Halloweens, and this was like the not the perfect storm is makes it sound like I didn't enjoy it. Um, but the weather was great. It was like low mid 50s, no rain, and our neighbors.
It's nice. It's a good trick or treating weather. Not too
Yeah,
hot in the costume.
so our neighbor, yeah, right, it's perfect. Yesterday was 80, or Monday it was 80 degrees.
Yeah, I
It
know it
would
was
have been
wild.
miserable.
Yeah.
But our neighbors do. Our street gets pretty into it, especially our next right next door our neighbors, and then the people next to them, and they're on the corner. So if you are children and you're walking past our block, you will see this, and you're going to that house. right?
Is that your place?
No, we're back here. That's us here.
Okay,
This is our next door neighbor's place. It
dude,
looks kind of cool there, but let me show you the night picture. Look at that.
that's awesome.
So this is a spider. You could probably tell by
Oh
now
my
that I
gosh, I
pointed out.
couldn't, I didn't notice that, but yeah, it is a spider.
It's a black widow.
Wow, it's
Um,
got the markings
she's
and
she
everything.
is
That's cool.
really talented.
The
She and
spider?
her friend,
It's a female
the or
spider?
yeah, all black widow. It's a black widow.
Right, widow. Duh.
You fucking asshole.
Dodoy.
So anyway, yeah, people were walking down this side of the street, right? Or they're gonna pass our street. They see this, they're like, we're going to that house, of course. I mean, it was like a photo op.
And now, so you're just the
We're
house
the
next to
next
this
one.
house. So you're
We're
getting
the
a lot of
next one.
traffic.
So all that to say, I think we gave out. I think we had like 200 kids.
Wow.
We gave out over 400 pieces of candy.
Were you enjoying it, or was it? Did you find some way
Yeah,
to get angry
it
about
was
it?
cool. No, no, no. Did I find some way? At some point, I was like, "It's cold. I'm gonna go. It's
Yeah,
8 o'clock. I'm
there
going
we go.
inside."
That's what I was
But
expecting.
but we were outside from before 6 p.m. and it's cool because right, like our neighbors, we live on such a cool street and everyone's really nice, and
Yeah,
so it's cool to like you meet up with the neighbors. Everyone's outside. How's it going? Catch
yeah,
up.
I like that. Maybe a cup of mug of cider in your hand.
Yeah. And that's what was going on there in this house and the house directly across the street from us.
Oh, I'm jealous of
Um,
that. I like that a lot. I
yeah.
do. Yeah, I like that a lot.
So the kids, he may be a little bit too old for this experience, but they would. So this is our neighbor, and she would say, the candy is at the biggest spider, and this thing is so big that they like the little kids didn't even realize it was a spider, right?
Oh, there's other spiders around then, and
There's
that was the
these are
game.
nests. So the first right here,
Yeah, I was gonna
like she
ask
didn't have
about that. It
she
looked kind
had
of
these out
pussy.
and it's like a spider nest, right?
It's
It's
gross.
like a foam, like a spray foam kind of thing she cut in half.
It's cool.
Yeah, it
It's
is
gross though.
gross.
Yeah.
That's what was in her yard for the last week. It was like
Yeah.
beware spiders hatching or something like that. And then yesterday she put this up.
That's amazing. There was
So the kids would
there
like walk around and be
a
like, "Oh,
phased rollout.
do you have the spider here, or is the candy here, or is it like over here?" And then there's one right here, and then she's like, "No," and then they're standing under a spider, and then they look up, and it's like some of them were actually kind of scared. It was
I would imagine.
perfect. It was really cool. So anyway,
That's super creative. I love the phased rollout of the eggs leading to the hatchlings to the spider. I love
I
the
got to.
game of it's under the biggest spider because it's like you get a little extra interaction with people, right? You get to see
Yeah,
them. It's cool.
I mean and that's not just. So let me show you the.
Keep talking. I'll be right back. This reminds me of something.
No problem. So 2 years ago, this was it. This was COVID. Let me show you. Show the audience. So COVID here, she did a drive-in. It's a little less elaborate, but because they didn't want to have, you know, kids weren't trying to get close. These are all like little tykes with spiders and other things like that. Watching a movie. This was like an actual. It was playing a movie, and the candy would come out of the concession stand skeleton's arm. They were behind it, and they would like put the candy through a pipe to get there. It was very cool. Very cool, little less elaborate, right? But still like a very big setup. And then let me find the last one. Last year's.
Couldn't find it.
Let me find last year's because I always take a picture. Yeah. Boom. And then this was last year. Candy was up here or something, and every time that someone got close to it, it made a noise. It was, I mean,
So are you going to step up your game and try
I
to
think we
get into
have.
this with them?
I'll tell you what. After this year, I mean, we heard it multiple times from parents walking their kids around. And we're like, your street is awesome. It had nothing to do with us. Had nothing to do. We had a couple Sarah carved 2 pumpkins yesterday,
Hey,
hours before.
it's a classy way to approach Halloween.
And so I think next year we got to at least get some lights or something.
Yeah.
Right?
So there was the street in Hoboken like this. And I remember going there thinking, like, how did this start? But that's how it starts. One family starts, and then the neighbors live next to each other long enough. And it was like the section of Hoboken where there had the $2 to $5 million brownstones. Usually that's not the area that gets into decorating the most, but it was really cool because they would go all out, and people would come from all over New Jersey to see it, come from the city to see it. Who knows, man? You might be a special interest. Start charging admission.
Yeah.
Capitalism.
Make a couple bucks on Halloween. Why not? Let's get ours.
Get it.
But yeah. Yeah, it's a very fun holiday.
Yeah, I love Halloween. You know who really loves it is Allison's sister and her mom. Mom called me yesterday because I helped her set up the Face ID on her phone, and she couldn't get it to unlock, but it was because she had painted her face for Halloween.
Oh.
So she was like, "How do I? Why
That's
is
how
it
you
my
know you're
phone
done.
why isn't my
That's how
phone
you know you're-
recognizing me?" And I was like, "I don't know. What is there anything different or oh yeah, my face is completely painted." Well, there it is.
That's how it works.
Her sister has a big Halloween party every year. I think we're gonna go out one of these years, maybe next year. And she like loves Halloween, like loves horror movies. I think it's very weird to love horror movies. Like to make it your favorite genre, I always tell her that there's a darkness inside of her that's brewing because she's like such a bubbly, sweet, cute girl. But
Yeah.
beneath the surface,
Farrah. This is
the
Farrah.
darkness is there. No, this is Victoria.
Okay.
Farrah's older sister. This is Allison's younger sister, who looks like Allison, but just 8 or 9 years ago.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah.
What are you eating? A couple Belvitas?
No, this is a fire hook flatbread cracker.
Your blood sugar low or something, or what? What's going on?
You know what? I was looking for the candy bars that I got for us to rank, but I think either Allison put them somewhere else or she ate them. So I grabbed this instead. And I had got like little fun size candy bars for us to decide to rank in order of how much we love them.
We can rank. You know what? There's something out there where it'll like have a ranking list and you can actually do it. Website.
I remember
Maker.
when Dan Meehan, because he was a diabetic, unfortunately, he used to get a snack at school.
Yeah.
And I went home to my mom and I said, "Why can't I have a snack at school?" And she was like, "Josh, you're not sick. Number one, he is. You're being insensitive." She explained diabetes to me.
Here we go. I got
Good
it.
day.
This is even better.
Hold up.
Check this shit out. The Halloween candy tier list. Boom. Get out of here. That's it. And now we just click and drag. Isn't that cool?
I got an important fertility related email. Yeah, let me see. Yes. This is perfect. I don't know if I agree with. Yeah, I guess these are. I mean, rolled gold doesn't really belong, but okay.
We're working with what we got.
Oh,
Also,
this is
I do
cool.
want to
S tier. We
spend.
love
So
the S
here's
tier.
a couple other things.
Yeah.
8:30 is my cutoff. I'm going to the office today. I'm going to the office most Wednesdays now, and 8:45 is fine. I'm walking, so it's not terrible. Um, that's number one. And number two, I do want to talk about what you texted about yesterday about this. You want to actually market this now.
I mean, I was
we
thinking
all-
just to our Instagram followers, which isn't that many people.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
Curious if anyone.
I've got. Let's do that now.
Yeah. Hold on, let me banner us up.
That banner up. I don't know what it is. But I am like terrified to do that, basically.
Tell me why. Are you willing to? Do you know why?
Yeah, I have an idea. And this has nothing to do with what we're doing, like the actual what we're doing. I think this is fun. I enjoy we're basically just talking on the phone, which is cool. And we happen to be broadcasting it to 0 people,
Right?
So whatever.
I'm having a blast.
Good. That's why dude. It's almost been a year. We wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't fun. It's been a year.
True.
So.
Oh yeah, it has been.
When I was younger, I was doing creative things, and it seemed as though I would do them for the wrong reasons. Meaning, I was doing them. I would come up with something, and it was mostly musical related. And then as soon as I had an idea, I would record it, and then I would share it with everybody. I would fucking email people. I would call people and like hold the fucking phone up in college, like doing something on the guitar. Like it almost seemed like, and I look back at that and I'm like, that was so cringe. Like it was very cringy. Really kind of embarrassing behavior to, these to just try to like fish for compliments. It almost seemed like that's kind of what it felt like I was doing. And it just was, I look back and I'm like, you're such a fucking idiot. Why would you do something like, and so now we're back at this intersection, and I agree. Like if that's what you have to do, you have to share what you're creating if you want it to be seen. And I struggle with that based on my past experiences doing that exact thing. And I don't know. So that's my block.
I get it. I understand where you're coming from. I think
but I don't think that's sorry to cut you off. I don't think that's a healthy thing, right? Like I think that's overblown. And so I'm trying to talk to you to talk through it.
Got it. Yeah. Okay, good. I was going to say there's a few things in there, maybe a couple things that I don't know. We all like have our own version of what happened, and it's like rarely aligned with reality, right? Especially for things that we feel embarrassment over. 99 times out of 100, no one else felt the same way. And when you finally say it out loud, the thing that you're worried about, people will most often say, that's it. That's what you're worried about. But to you or to me or to anyone, it can be a very big deal. So like, I totally get it. And I have things like this too. I have little bugaboos where I'm just not I don't know. For one reason or another, the story I tell myself is that what I did was embarrassing and I should be ashamed of it. That said, the first thing is, what is shameful about sharing your creativity with people?
So I think the thing that's shameful isn't sharing the creativity. It's the fact that I was taking something so raw.
You were almost unable to complete it before.
As soon as I shared it, it was over. and
Right.
it took me
Oh,
10
okay.
it took me a minute to like do it, right? I mean, the idea takes some time to kind of, but then you like lay down this super basic, like not it, I look at all those when I was doing Bad Domes before I even played a show. I would make all those things called like the silliness things.
Yeah.
And they fucking sucked, man. They really did. It
Matter
was
of opinion.
basically it was so crude. Like I didn't think about how to compose it. I didn't mix it. I didn't do anything. I just shared it, and then once I got like, oh, that's really cool, and I'd be like, yeah, thanks, and then I'd fucking throw it away. I'd stop working on it and go to the next thing and try to do something. Like I just, if you want to do that, so the care I take now is I really come up with something that's for me something I'm proud of to share. At least take the care to present it in a way that it's not like the listener won't have to like get past the fact that the audio is clipping or that it starts at the wrong place or it has to loop, like it just finish the thing. You got to finish it. You can't just send things out for, and by the way, I don't send anything out anymore. I just completely stopped, of course.
But there's like a patience to what you're talking about. Like there's a you're trying to make yourself more deliberate and patient and not attention seeking, but putting that same energy into the creative process.
Yeah. And it's a
Okay.
lot of work, and what ends
Yeah.
up happening is I don't send anything out to my friends, right?
And you
Like
know, I
I'll
mean,
stream to strangers, and sometimes people watch, sometimes they
oh,
don't. But I
okay. So
like the
is that
people
there's a lot going on here.
I feel embarrassed to share things with people I know.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very first of all, I know this is going to sound corny, but I think it's very brave to say things like that, and I just love that you're able
I,
to go right at it and say,
I
even to a friend. I think that's great.
This is
So
your wheelhouse. This kind of stuff is your wheelhouse. You
yeah,
like talking through this stuff.
I do. I do. I think it's there's nothing more interesting than why people do what they do, and I'll die on that hill.
Yeah.
Um, you is do you think it's because like what do you think makes it more comfortable to share with strangers versus people you know?
Because people I know have already seen all, like they've been subjected to
They know
me
you.
doing, like sending things out or like promoting myself.
But let
And
me just tell you what that looks like just from my perspective because that's the only one I could speak to. I would be very excited every time you sent me something. Like
yeah,
and I would usually wait to listen to it on the way to work. You know, like it brought me joy. It was a great thing and it kept me connected to you and like I bet that every other person that you sent it to felt the same way.
maybe.
So out of all, but let's just for a second hypothetically say that some of them did, some of them didn't, right? Which is probably the truth. Does that change the way you feel?
Yeah, I mean that certainly helps. And I think the difference between literally sending an email to my contact list or like cherry picking the people that I wanted their
Right.
compliments, not opinions. I'm not talking. I mean, that's how unhealthy it was, man. I don't want to fucking
Right.
hear your notes. I just want you to
Right.
tell me how great this sounds, and that's where I was at that point in my life, and it fucking
Okay.
talk
So
about
that's,
egotistical.
well, yeah, I think
Fucking
that's
yeah,
something we grow out of, honestly. I think it's something we've both grown out of, right?
yeah.
And
At this point, sure.
attention seeking behavior is a slippery slope. I know, man. You know me. Like that's been my game my whole life. And I've never, I've never questioned it the same way that you are because I think that any time you're sharing creativity with people, it's like it's an affection, right? It's an affectionate thing to do. So I'm all for that. But I totally get where you're coming from. You've kind of made the association between that attention seeking behavior and creativity and like you're the only one who knows why you were doing it, right? So if you're looking back and saying, I'm not proud of why I did this, that's a different thing than saying, I'm not proud of doing this.
Yeah, right. That's the other thing, though. I'm not even proud of the product.
Well, yeah. Okay.
So, right? Which you wouldn't share unless you were doing it for a reason other than being like, I'm proud of the product.
So that's interesting that you were not interested in feedback. I mean, that's telling, right? If you're,
And not that anyone would even give it. Like they would,
no,
no
you
one,
know
no
what?
one really.
You know what this makes
I
me
would
think
say,
about? Kanye with his
I
listening
would.
parties.
I know. That's what they called me, man. I was like Kanye West.
Yeah.
I
Same
would never
thing.
send it. I would never share this shit to forums of people like music production forums. Right? And like solicit like how can I make this better? I would never do that. Never posted it anywhere. I would send it to people and just I'd be like, here, check this out. And then I would wait for them to respond. It pains me to fucking talk about this. It really does. Like it just takes me back to that, which I understand is part of the process here.
Just everyone on
But
earth has done this. That's
I know.
if it eases your pain at all. But I can tell you're tortured by this, and I get it, man. Like I get it. I totally get it. I think it's okay for you to look back and forgive that version of yourself and say, like, he was doing his best. You don't remember the things that happened to you in the moment that led you to those decisions. So I try to tell myself at that time, this is what I thought was the best thing to do. Right. And it is. You weren't, your judgment wasn't impaired. I mean, maybe a little bit because your motivation was impaired, but like minor bumps in the road. Let me just say that I don't care whether we promote it or not. Right. I think it would add a new element to this. And my whole thing is I don't want to stop doing it. So I want to keep it interesting, right? Like when I don't want something to end, I try to put my energy into it so that it keeps going. But there's a million different ways to address that. Bringing in an audience is just one of them.
No, and it's important. I mean, that's
maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
Your idea. Listen, here's the thing, and I've always said this. I'm up for trying anything, and maybe this has a dual purpose of one, maybe getting a person to watch it, but also to help me like get past this, right? Like that's possibly, this is just the next step in that healing process is not the right word.
No, it is like the right word.
Getting comfortable again with getting over myself more like is kind of more.
Yeah, I think you're being too hard on yourself, but yeah, I agree. There's
the secondary concern is
therapy there.
Yeah, and the secondary concern is like I almost don't want people. I don't want certain people to find this. You know what I mean? Like I don't want work people to. Not that I'm friends with really any work people.
I thought about that last night. That we have a freedom right now that we wouldn't have. Like for example, my wife is at Pilates right now, and I can say this because I know she's not going to watch it. I'm throwing her a surprise party for her 40th birthday on Thursday this week.
No shit.
We've got 10 people going to a restaurant in Manhattan. Her family's flying in from California and Colorado, and she has no idea. Wow. We had listeners. I couldn't say this kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big concern. Well, the good news is
she's not going to listen.
The next show will be after her surprise birthday party, so all the listeners won't be able to inform her.
Yeah.
The hundreds of listeners we'll have on Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's an anonymity. There's a fun to the anonymity. Sea anemone. Why would they name something a sea anemone? An anemone? Is it anemone or anemone?
I'll tell you what. That was an answer on the New York Times crossword on Monday, and I couldn't fucking figure out how to spell it.
Allison does it every day. We gave it a few shots. She was like, "How do you spell anemone?" Maybe that's why it was in my head. You do the crossword every day?
Not every day, but
she does.
Yeah, I like Mondays, dude. I can't do the tough ones. I can't do them, and they get frustrating.
Not without the like little spell check thing on.
Right.
I can do
and at
Sunday
some point you feel it's like, dude, come on, Just
Yeah.
be an adult. Stop
Right.
using auto check.
Yeah, this is there for kids so they can learn how to do a crossword.
But
Okay,
yeah,
I'm with you, man.
I,
I'm with you. Look,
but okay,
take it slow. We
that
don't have to
I
do
just needed
anything
to.
immediately, and we don't have to do anything at all.
Well, so I think we should. I think you've again. My whole thing is trying new things, and this is your idea. And it's a good one. I mean, it's a basic good one. I am not going to stand in the way of doing this.
Far be it from
Um,
you to stand in the way of a good idea, huh?
that's right.
So
So how do
Jerry
you?
Seinfeld, Jerry Seinfeld said something one time to he was talking to Kramer on Comedians in Cars with Coffee, Michael Richards, and Michael Richards, like it was, I won't tell you the story of what they said, but I will say that it was very clear that they were coming at their craft from a very different place. They were bringing a very different energy and attitude to the same, essentially the same job, right? Kramer remembers it as a slog, the long hours, the ups and downs with the public and their affections. Obviously, he's had challenges there. And Jerry was like, no, it wasn't for you. It was for them. Right? Like what you were doing, the work was, and you could see it hit Michael Richards like a ton of bricks. That feeling of, oh my God, I've spent my whole life looking at something a certain way. And all it took was this little wrinkle. And now it feels very different because it's service. Right? I think
Mhm.
if you remember how much joy you bring to people's lives, it will feel different eventually.
Yeah, maybe,
And then when you add me
maybe.
in the mix, the joy grows exponentially.
Yeah, there you go.
It's an
So
exponential factor.
okay, so well, let's come up with a plan here. How do you want to? How does this look to you? Talk me through your
Yeah.
idea.
So I think that the joke is we're on episode fit. Like I was thinking maybe we do a 50th anniversary episode and then say, but then I was like, okay, maybe just the joke is that we've done a lot of episodes and we haven't told anybody about it. Right. There's something intriguing there. If I saw that from someone, I'd be like, wait, what? Especially someone I knew.
Yeah,
Um,
true.
so simple copy, which is I'm gonna look at the text message I sent you yesterday because I like the way I wrote it. Rich and I recently completed our 45th episode. We thought this would be a good time to let everyone know that we're doing a podcast. Right? Split screen picture, either between this and our. Where's the logo? The logo's not there anymore. It's powered by StreamYard.
Yeah, hey, stop paying for this bullshit.
Oh, should I pick it up for a little bit,
If you
or is it
want
not
to, I'm not.
necessary? Okay.
I don't
All
think
right.
it's necessary to be honest.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, we'll put the screen. This maybe we'll like do some photoshopping to cover up the StreamYard logo. And then a picture of our logo. Yeah. So like a picture of us with a logo, or a side by side of a picture of us now and a picture of us from high school. I'm sure I could find one. What do you think? What are your notes?
I'm cool with it, man. Listen, again, this is you've obviously got the idea, so
Yeah.
I'm fine rolling with what you got. I have no. I'm not gonna. I
You're not
can't
going to
think of
note me to
anything.
death.
I'm not gonna. Well, I don't have any. I actually don't have. Like that sounds fine, and I think that is funny. Like we've done. It's not 45. It's like almost 60.
Yeah.
Uh, and we wanted to let it. After 50 after 59 episodes, we. I think it'd be funny if we just figured out whatever episode it was, and hopefully it's like 61, and have like a 61st anniversary show.
I like that. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of pegged us. Yeah, I thought it was like maybe mid 50s, but
Well, let's
because I
count.
remember counting not too long ago and it was in the 40s already, and this was a while back.
Let's figure it out.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm getting there.
I love that. The idea of approaching creativity as something for other people. Look, that can go either way. That could also be
Yeah.
a narcissistic rationalization for why the world needs to constantly hear what I'm thinking and feeling.
So I actually don't like that. and only because I don't want to do it for other people.
Yeah,
Like it is
understood.
for me. But there's a way you can not make it, like, not use other people to get what you want out of it. That was my thing.
Right.
It was like you just using other, like taking people's time, like blasting it to emailing it, right? Like you can't, if you're posting something online, that's one thing, but if you're like directly emailing a single person and being like, check this out, all you're doing is waiting for their compliment back. And that fucking pissed me off. Once I realized that's what I was doing, it like really floored me, and I'm like, you know what? You're done. You're not doing this shit anymore.
Here's my final analysis. It feels a little bit like you're punishing yourself for something that every single person on earth does.
Sure.
But
Totally
that
get
doesn't
it.
matter to you. You're looking within and you're saying this is just something I want to improve.
Well, listen, that's one thing, there's one thing to like understand that, but I've also, and then there's another, it's like now I have an opportunity to like not do that, and I'm not doing that. That's kind of the way I look at it.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
would
Like I'm not going to do
yeah.
it again, but I think there's a difference between what was happening, and so we're on
Yes, totally.
50. I think today was 51.
No shit. So we did the 50th without
Or
knowing.
maybe today is 50 actually. I think we missed one. This might actually be the
Oh
50th show.
boy.
How about that? Um, so yeah, I think this is it. We'll just roll with it. Or all we do is talk about mental health. Just what people want to hear at 7:30 in the morning, once
Yeah.
a week.
let's get let's get deep into things that 99% of people would say isn't a problem.
So I think one thing we could do, because the other side of this is, okay, you send this out and then is this it? Like, is people are gonna look at it and then just watch us talk, basically have a phone conversation,
Yeah.
or like once a week? What is the what like what's your availability on days where you are going into the office?
It would have to be pretty early.
Yeah, right, whatever. Forget about that. Just like what
Okay.
time?
So I right now my routine is I get up at 6 and I head to the train around 6:45. But
Oh wow. Okay.
I have time to kill. Like I'm usually fucking around for 10, 15 minutes of that. So I would probably need to get up at 5. This is a change I was thinking of making anyway to start working out in the morning. I'm still I did it while I was traveling for work last week and I realized like it's not going to kill me and it's kind of nice. So I'm still in the mental planning phase, but I'm about to launch a new plan there. So it might work out that the days I'm not exercising, I wake up at 5 and I don't know if that even works with you though.
I mean, I'm willing to try it. I mean, it does not, like, I will, getting up at 5 in the middle of the winter is definitely never something I've done. But
No,
I don't think it'd be a bad thing, just
I agree.
from health perspective. And two, if it's to do this and do it where we just jump on here, not every day, maybe however many days a week, and do that, then you have like people are like, okay, I know that Rich and Josh are going to be talking about nothing every day at
Yeah.
5:15, from 5:15 to 6, whatever it is. And now I can just kind of, it does become like a fucking radio show where, because we're not the only people, people our age get up early. They got kids or they got
Definitely.
working out, whatever. So that may be something.
The few people who have stumbled upon this or that I told about this have said it is nice to have on in the background. They do like
Yeah.
putting it in their headphones while they're doing what they're doing. The only thing I would say is if we make that kind of commitment, there's a secondary commitment that comes along with it that I just don't know if we're willing to make,
Which
which
is
is
what?
preparing content.
Yeah.
You can't show up you thinking what, Monday through Friday?
Well, I mean, that would be the obvious one, but I don't know that it's got to be like scripted out, but
No, it
I
doesn't
do
need to be
think
scripted, but there needs to be structure.
that's right. And having little segments like the Interstate 79 exit tour.
Right.
I think that's something, right?
I
Like,
think
because
that
then it
like
just,
we rank. So I like ranking things. Do you like ranking things? So
yeah,
like we
sure.
we rank something once a week, right? No, we don't do the same thing every day, but we rank something once a week. Hold on, I gotta switch headphones.
This fucking guy in his headphones.
I had to go in and get my this is a funny story actually, my AirPod. So let's see if you can tell. One of these is my AirPod, the other is a new imposter. Do you know which is which?
I don't know. I don't have AirPods. I don't know which one's the real one.
Yep, me neither anymore. Actually, I do because one's a little, dirtier. But my AirPod, I was in my ear yesterday and it just stopped working. So I took it into the Apple store, and the guy was like, "Let me go in the back and run a diagnostic, and I'll tell you if it's working." And I was like, "Okay, I'm telling you right now it's not working, but go run your diagnostic, nerd." Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can I hear you?
Can you? You got me? Let's.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. He's.
So this jackass says to me, "Yep, it's broken. I ran the diagnostic." 10 minutes later, as I'm waiting in the Apple Store in Grand Central Station, and he says, "So what we do when we have broken AirPods is, so you only need to get the one replaced. That's the good news, right? The other good news is you have Apple Care, so it's covered. The bad news is you have to give me both of them and the case, and we're going to send it away to Apple, and then they'll address it and send it back to you." So immediately I'm like, "Do you not have AirPods here in the store?" "Oh,
They
yeah,
should
we
have a
do.
drawer. They
We
should have a
do.
drawer, like a drawer that just rolling around in there and be like, here,
Tons of
take
them.
one.
We've got tons of them." And I was like, "Okay, well, give me a pair of yours until mine are ready then. I use these every day. I'm on the phone all day. These live in my ears." And he was like, "Oh, interesting. Okay, maybe, I guess. Haven't really thought of that. So usually we send them away and then they send them back to you." I'm like, "No, I get it, my guy. That's just not going to work for this particular customer." So he eventually went to talk to one of his coworkers, and he came back and was like, "You'll never guess what. They changed it yesterday and I wasn't working, but let me go get you a replacement." And I'm like, "Yeah,
You'll never guess the
yeah,
timing of
yeah.
your specific complaint.
Why don't you run back there into the storeroom, Cheech, and box me up an AirPod real quick?
I'll tell you
Toot the
what.
sweet."
Uh, if you don't, and I think you recognize this, your ability to convince retail employees to do things that are not part of policy is unbelievable. It is unmatched.
What a
And
weird
I'll give you
gift.
two other examples.
What a useless, odd gift.
Man, I'll tell you what. The first one, and we've talked about this, when you got I don't think people understand, or maybe it's hard to like go back to understanding the hype and the insanity that went around the release of the Nintendo Wii,
Oh
right?
man,
In
it was a thing.
2008,
It was
2008, whatever it
because
was,
it was like Christmas
2007.
time, right?
Yep. It was a
So it
winner
was
for sure.
stakes were high. Gift giving
And
season.
a Best Buy would get 8, and they were gone in less than a minute. Like they'd put them on the floor and people would just pick them up. And it was impossible. And that they had like a store policy, like we're not holding and we're not holding. And you called me. We were both in Pittsburgh. You might have been still living there. And I was visiting my
I
parents
was.
for the holiday. It was either Thanksgiving or Christmas. I was home for a reason. And you called me, and I could tell you were talking to someone else, and it was a young lady. And you're like, okay, so are we good? And she's like, yep, yep. She's like trying to like play it cool, like this didn't happen, but you got her to save me a Wii. You got someone at the store to hold a Nintendo Wii for someone who wasn't there. That's insane. That is an insane thing to do.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was a good one.
And it worked. And I left immediately, went to go pick it up. And the cashier was like, Oh, I didn't think we were saving these for people. I'm like, yeah, well, you don't know my friend Josh. That was number one. Number two, when Guitar Hero 3 came out for the Wii, and you had people over at your apartment, and we were
That was a great
playing.
time.
Yeah, there were like three or four of us, and part of that game is playing two player. But when you bought, there again, there weren't that many of Guitar Heroes out, and we wanted to get a second guitar, and so we went to. This must have been before I had the Wii, because I would have just brought mine or
Yeah.
bought one. So I didn't have it.
Yeah, this is probably
But
how I knew you wanted one.
we went to GameStop, and they had a Guitar Hero 3, but it came with the game as well. It was like another $70 or something.
I
And
don't remember this one.
you convinced the guy to sell you the game and then immediately buy back the actual physical copy of the game. So you walked out there with a guitar for like $20 with a game that didn't have a guitar with it. You don't. That game is you looked at me. You're like, this game is useless. You can't play it without the guitar. Who's coming in here buying
That's
a
a
second
good point.
copy?
That's a really good point.
And I
You
was like,
can't
yeah, man,
buy it without the guitar.
you are the only person who I know would be able to pull this off, and you did it.
It's a weird
I
skill.
was like,
You know, I get it. I get it from my dad. I've seen my dad talk the person working the cash register at the Gap into giving him a discount for no reason. Like, I got to give him props here. He showed me the way. Although I think I took it to another level of things that even he was like, well, that's okay. That's pretty impressive.
there's a difference between being uh like spendthrift to the point where it's annoying and then just
Right.
like working a deal. And
Right.
that's what you do. And it's
Art of the
very
deal,
impressive.
bro. Art of the deal.
Yeah. That's how I mean you're a salesperson. You're doing exactly what you need to be doing
Yeah.
from a job perspective.
Yeah. So okay. So I guess the gift is paying dividends in other areas. Although,
Oh
you know,
yeah.
you'd be surprised how little you get to use that in the world of corporate B2B sales. It's
Yeah, well, I'm sure.
it's not as fun. I often think about like maybe I just want to sell something simpler so I can really have some fun. But someday we'll see.
Someday.
Till then, I'm just going to keep taking advantage of retail employees everywhere. Like
To
this
be
guy.
fair, you were a retail employee too, so it's not like you don't
Yeah, I get
understand
it.
that world.
But that's the point, is that I do understand that world, and I know that 9 times out of 10, what they tell me, they have no idea what their actual policy is.
Yeah.
And the thing that they want the least is for someone to leave there really pissed off for something that their boss would have said, you should have done that. That's my window. Like, you should have never let that customer leave unhappy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's it. It's really impressive. I do not have that. That is a when it comes to that kind of stuff, I'm just like, I can't be bothered. Like, fine, I'm not gonna fight it. I would probably for AirPods, especially if I was paying for the Apple Care and it's like that story.
Right.
But
Right.
like, you know, I would never
But
have
like-
had the idea to go and try to resell a Guitar Hero physical copy back to GameStop and talk them into circles to the point where they thought it was a good idea.
Yeah, they thought it was their idea.
Right. He's like, wait till man, this guy doesn't know anything. I just made $20 for the store.
He just got taken to the cleaners. Maybe someone, you know, their game got scratched and they needed a new copy. Then they came in and they were happy.
You better hope that person went to the Moon Township GameStop.
I know exactly which GameStop you're talking. Robinson.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah.
The Robinson, right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, we got like 10 minutes. Let's figure out the plan here.
Okay.
What do you want to try to do? Like, do you think? I think posting a story is something I can get comfortable with on Instagram.
I mean, I've lost all of my Instagram followers because I haven't posted anything in years.
Nobody fucking stops following people on Instagram.
I don't know how it works. I haven't checked. I'm just saying I have
Well,
no idea the status of my network. Not to mention, I think
may,
Instagram, I don't know how it works, but do they promote people that post more? Anyway, I think we both make a post. I don't know Instagram enough to know the stories versus the tiles. So I'll take your guidance there.
stories definitely, because
Okay.
they disappear. Excuse me. They disappear after 24 hours. So if you post something the night before, or you do it right when it goes live and you post a link, you can, I mean, having the link is obviously, people are going to watch this on their phones. They're not going to watch it on their computers.
Yeah.
So you
Link in the
can,
bio. I've always wanted to say that.
or just not even in the bio, just literally you can click the link and it will take you to this.
But where the link is what in the stories?
Yes.
It's in the computer. In the computer? Wow. Okay, I like it. So yeah, let's do it. Our next episode, let's just do exactly what I said. It's our 52nd episode, and we decided that now would be a good time to tell you that we have a podcast. Click here. Live every Friday.
Well, that's it. I mean, we got to kind of come up with this with a for sure schedule, and I think it make that kind of makes sense too. Like instead of this this
Dude,
little dance what you and I
we-
play every week,
we're gonna
it's like,
have
hey, tomorrow.
yeah.
Let's just come up with an idea, and then let's
Well, I
let's
mean,
make that
we
the default.
basically just do it Wednesdays and Fridays.
Right. So we can say like we're gonna do it every Wednesday and Friday unless, right, there's something that's coming up. I can't do it Wednesday. I can't do it Friday. Like I'm just talking about you and I communicating.
Yeah.
Are we setting right now that every 7:30 every Wednesday, 7:30 every Friday we're doing this?
Yeah, I'm good with that. I mean, there's going to be a couple exceptions on Fridays where I have to go in, like you have to go in today. But
Yeah, sure.
I'm good with that. I also think we'll have time to figure this out because people aren't going to watch right away. It's going to
I
take
bet they
several.
do. I bet
Really?
they do, man. I think the sooner if I posted a story that on Thursday night and said 7:30 in the morning tomorrow, we will have somebody watch.
So then do we put it on our stories and then also put a tile post so people can go to our profile and find it?
I think I don't want to do that on my personal profile. We can make a Rich and Josh Show Instagram account
No, that's fine.
and maybe
I
do
get
that.
it. Yeah.
But I think
Well,
the
that's
story
the
on
problem is
personal
that
one.
then that will okay, story on personal one. I got you. Yeah. And then it will link to a wait, we've got a comment. Tom from Pittsburgh. 2 men who have raised a pair of beautiful beards. That's
Two men
right.
have raised a pair of beautiful beards.
So Tommy's dad
At 8:09. That was 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, sorry for the delayed reaction. The Tommy's dad has the greatest line about beards. He said, "You don't grow a beard, you raise a beard," and he's right. I'm actually going to the barber. This is getting pretty long, man. I don't know. You've commented on it, but I'm gonna go get it shaped up today. I think this is gonna be. Here's my plan. You want to show me? You want to see my reference photo?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. All right. I've got a few. This guy's really old, but what a fucking badass this dude is. See the longer mustache and the longer cheeks?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, man. Go ahead.
A really long mustache like that.
The mustache is tough because
it is.
It gets into your mouth.
Yep. So I've been trimming
every
it.
meal.
I've been trimming it just back a little bit, but like it looks so much cooler when it's long. Like when it grows over that top lip, it looks really cool.
I agree.
But there's like a very uncomfortable period.
Sure. Well, I don't think it ever gets better because at some point you have to like lift it to eat.
Well, I think what this guy's doing
the way you put
is
food in your head changes.
Waxing it to the side.
Fair enough. Like he's literally taking the care to, yeah.
But it's still covering his top lip completely.
If you can get comfortable with one, so that was the one when I grew out my beard over COVID. At some point, Sarah was like, "You gotta cut your mustache. This is ridiculous."
Right.
It looks bad. And I was literally like every meal I ate, I
Yeah,
was
I've been
sucking
there.
down hair.
Yeah,
It
you're
sucks.
eating it, and like then you have to like scrub the food out of your beard. I mean, I have to do
Yeah.
that now, just like at the corners of my mouth. You know,
You almost need like shampoo
oh,
in the shower
I shampoo this twice a week at least.
because it smells.
It stinks. Yeah, and I touch my beard a
It's
lot
so
too. I'm
gross.
always like kind of twisting
Yeah,
and playing with it,
of
so
course.
it gets pretty gross. But look at this
Yeah.
fucking guy. He looks awesome. Looks like he's doing big things. If you saw that guy, the first thing you'd think is that guy's awesome. He's doing big things.
If I could grow a beard, so I'm okay like around the circle here, the goatee area. It's okay. It's fine. I could grow that out and it would look okay. The sides still kind of suck. Like this is a little too thin to grow long, and I can't connect the burns from here to here is a problem.
This area.
Yeah, you got it. Like that's if I
Oh,
could
dude,
grow it that thick, I'd have it longer. But this is, at some point, a bald
it
guy
gets
with a full
wispy.
beard. Yeah, it's not
I,
thick.
I think a bald guy with a full beard is a great look.
I think it's a slippery slope to
It,
like
very much so.
all. It's like a slippery slope to all lives matter kind of look. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like
yeah,
the
you make a wrong turn and you look like Walter White very quickly, right? Like
you
if
look like you
you
stormed
go
the Capitol. And
goatee, yeah, right. So there's a lot of when I was looking for reference photos last night, there were some pretty grisly scenes. It
yeah,
was not
it's a
good.
shame.
But
It's a real shame.
the ones that I saved, I think are awesome. I got a couple more. Look at this guy's beard. He looks fucking great.
I think it's a good look for you. Why not?
Yeah.
You can tell you've been dyeing your beard. It's definitely less gray.
Yeah, you know what? This is the last time I think I'm doing it. I did it twice and I don't like it. It makes it too I don't know. I'm liking the original color of it. The problem is that I have those spots. If there was
Yeah, I
just a
got
way
you.
to dye those to the same color, I would do it, but I don't know that there is. This is a cool
It looks,
shape too.
yeah, that's longer than I would do it, but I mean, it looks fine. It doesn't look bad.
But I'm seeing a lot of guys cut the bottom like
Square it off.
yeah, square it off. Yeah, that's like a thing. Or like really cut it at like that sharp angle. Yeah, square it off. You said it. So it's like gives you that square jaw. Or
Look,
maybe you
come
have to
under
have a square
here.
jaw for that.
That's the other thing. A beard is definitely. I mean, if I could grow one longer, it'd
Yeah,
be
it's
nice to
nice.
cover this up a little bit. You know.
It gives you some armor.
I also have this spot down here that doesn't grow, and it looks like
Oh,
I have
really?
a scar that I don't
You,
remember getting.
you know what you can do is get one of Sarah's eyebrow pencils and just
I'm not. Yeah, I don't want to do that.
easy. It's
I'll tell
easy.
you
It
what
lasts all day.
Yeah, I'm not that into it. I only literally for the first time ever I had to replace the blades on my clippers, and after probably a year and a half, and
For your
I've
head.
used a different length. Yeah, for the first time I used a different length for up here than I did my facial hair.
Oh.
I don't know why I didn't ever try that before, because I always when I shaved my head I was like a little too clean shaven and
Oh, yeah.
it didn't look
Yeah.
great. So I made it longer here, and I think it helped. And all I did was like shift you can shift the blades
Yeah.
out or in. I just shifted
Yeah.
them out to do this, and then in to do like the really
Oh, with the little
short as
lever.
possible. Yeah,
I love that little thing. I didn't know what it did for years, and then Barbara was playing with it, and I was like, "Wait, what is that thing?" I thought it was like a screw. It's not. It's an adjuster.
new blades on a clipper are amazing.
Hot knife
By
through
the way,
butter.
yeah, really
That's a
good.
good feeling. What? I thought you were only buying like the drugstore brand.
I am
So you
wall.
replaced the clippers on a $40 trimmer.
Mm.
Replace the blades. Unbelievable.
What am I gonna do?
Get
Buy a whole new?
just
There's nothing wrong
get
with
the
the.
get the Oster old 76er.
We tried. Well, yeah, you're gonna have to replace the blades on that at some point.
I know, but at least it's worth replacing the blades
I
on.
I have one of those, or I used to. I can't. it hurt my head. The time or two I used it, I was like cutting myself, and it felt way
What?
too. Yeah,
Oh,
it was
that's not
bad.
good.
I gotta. My skin's not great up here,
Oh,
and
okay.
I so it's
Sensitive skin,
there's
yeah.
yeah, it's unfortunate, but
It is, but I think that like anything that you typically like that you run clippers over or a razor over is going to get chewed up.
yeah,
So
and it's
that's
tough
just
when
part of the
it's
game.
like it becomes the
I'm on my
how you
second skull
present yourself.
shaver. I broke my first one. They're not the most well-made things, the one that fits in my hand, and
Mhm.
I hate it. Like this is like an every 3-day thing, and I hate it. Like I hate the idea that for the rest of my life I'm gonna have to do this every 3 days. I think about
Yeah,
that and it really gets me down.
it does
It's a
suck,
lot of
man.
maintenance, man.
It is, especially
Imagine
for
cutting your
people.
grass every 3 days. It'd be crazy.
Not not only did you, and when I mean you, both you and I. Not only did we lose the genetic lottery, and to the point where we now have to worry about shaving our heads, like we have no choice. Now you have to do it all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. It seems unfair, right?
Fuck
It
that.
seems like bald guys should get an advantage. Maybe it's, we're quick in and out of the shower. That's the advantage. It is nice. Dry off and you're done.
Man, um, I used to shave my head when I still had hair. I would shave my head and then not cut it for a year. And this is
Oh,
like
wait.
while I was working.
Wait a
I
sec.
should
Hold
just
on.
shave my head.
Oh, okay. Never mind. We're good. You say that again? I'm sorry.
I used to just shave my head and then like I would let it all grow out like a fucking chia pet, and then I'd shave it again. This isn't when I was in my 20s. I did not
Yeah, but
have great hair grooming
yeah, I mean, I look at that and I
practices,
think I'm like,
habits.
You got it right because I cared way too much about my hair and my hair products. Right
And
now,
all for it just to
now it's
fall out.
gone. It's gone.
Anyway, confronted with that reality of our midlife, I gotta roll. So
Elon's hair looks good. Think
not
about how much
really.
better he looks. You want to see an Elon balding picture, or you got to
Yeah.
go?
And
But
that's the last thing, and then we gotta go.
okay,
And then we're gonna rank some. Next time we'll rank some Halloween candy. Three
there we
days
go.
after Halloween, which is perfect. Perfect timing.
Okay, I'm winning this argument already. I can tell. It takes too many buttons to share the screen. That's as big of an upgrade as you can get in life. I mean, now given
So the
there's about
plugs.
$1 billion difference between those two pictures, so better lifestyle, better everything, right?
You would hope so. Otherwise, what the fuck you working to get $1 billion for?
Right.
But so we got the plugs.
He's got
Is
the
that what
plugs,
you're? Yeah, I think.
or he got whatever the best is. I don't know what it is, but whatever it
Yeah,
is.
he's got some. He just scalped somebody,
I mean, he
just
looks
and stitched it in.
way better. He's not a bad looking guy.
No,
And like, oh wait, here we go. We got some analysis. If you see here, Rich, the green square means
what are we looking at? I don't get it.
I don't know what that means. Let's go to the story. Why Elon Musk's hair is in the news again.
You opened another window. All right. Yeah, I gotta roll.
Okay, buddy.
You come up with
Multiple hair
the
transplants.
post. Can you come up with the post you want to post tomorrow? Right?
Yeah.
You come up with the graphic, whatever. However you envision it. I'm cool with it. And
This
then I will
Friday,
post it.
I will be unavailable. It is the day after
Oh,
Allison's birthday.
perfect.
We're staying at the Soho Grand downtown for her birthday
Got it.
next week, or we could do it on the weekend. But I think weekdays are better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And again, I'm up for trying it early if you want to try that, but I'll leave that up to you.
okay. The
Since you got
social
to be
media
one.
strategy is in my hands. in my capable
Yeah,
hands.
and I'm for doing it. So just let me
I
know.
admire the. I want you to know I admire the way you're coming at this. I think it's honest and brave, and I think it's cool. And like, if it gets you untwisted about this whole thing, even the better. Probably won't because human beings are tough. But I think it's great. I'm excited.
Cool. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, let's year two. Maybe that'll be the year. Maybe that'll be the year.
We just needed a year warm up. We just needed to get loose for a
I,
year.
we keep saying this, but I really think that is important to do. I think it's important to just plow through stuff. One, because you'll get better at it. Two, because you'll really realize why you want to do it. And if it's not the right reasons, you won't last a year to do anything, man. It doesn't matter what it is.
I know what my
Um,
reason is. I love entertaining people.
yeah.
That's I've never felt the urge to look much deeper into that because I'm sure that's a dark. There's some cobwebs and you lift that rock. Some spooky stuff under there.
Just leave it there. Just leave the
Yeah.
rock down. You don't need to see the worms underneath.
Yeah, I don't want to see him right now.
All right,
buddy.
dude. Later.
So we'll plan for Wednesday then. Yeah.
Wednesday, every Friday, unless it's discussed
Unless it's
beforehand that
Allison's
it's
40th
not
birthday.
happening. Unless
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
And happy birthday to Allison. Big
All right, I'll let her know.
Yeah, you let. I'll let her know. I'll just text her and be like, "Hey, heard you're having a surprise party tomorrow. It was discussed on the Rich and Josh show." So unfortunately,
I'm gonna show her this
surprise-
afterwards.
Okay. Sit her down, tie her to a chair, and
Yeah.
make her watch this episode.
Yeah.
All right. Later.
All right, see you, buddy.